Hi everyone, hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm here to do a tutorial where I'll be altering this pink notebook using the Stamperia Wonderland paper pad, and this is just so gorgeous. So as soon as I got it I knew I wanted to do something with it. So I got this notebook, and this is from, I think it was from Home Bargains if I'm not mistaken, and I just thought it went really beautiful with the pink shades of the paper. So I've already cut out a few pieces from this sheet. So I've got one of the pieces from here. I've cut out another sheet here, which I'm going to show you in a sec. But this is the beautiful Wonderland paper pad. I'm also going to be using some corrugated card for texture, and I've used some die cuts with a view. Cardstock, I'm going to be using a stencil, which is a Kaiser Craft one, I believe. It's this beautiful damask stencil here. So I'm just going to get started and show you guys the bits and pieces that I've got ready, and I'm just going to get started because I don't want it to be too long, and I'm not going to edit this video, so it's just going to be how I craft, and you can see what I do. So to the side here I've got some heavy gesso, some texture paste with crackle, and these are all the Finnabair ones, and then I've also got the snowflake paste for my flowers, which I'll show you at the end. So I'm going to take the heavy gesso first, and I'm going to take away the harshness of the edge of the book, and it says live the life you love, but I will be covering all that. So all I've got is a little sponge, and I love these. I get them from the pound shop or whatever bargain store you can find, and these loads of sponges that you can get. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some paint and I'm going to put it onto the lid here. I'm just going to go into the edge and I'm going to just drag the paint down, and it's just going to give me a bit more of a soft kind of an edge. And I'm not going to cover all of it because most of it's going to be covered by paper anyway. So I'm just going to take the paint, don't want too much, so I'm just going to take it off on the cap, and I'm going to just do that on all the sides. And you can see straight away it's lighter, it's less harsh on the edges, and I'm going to do the same on the back as well as the spine. I'm just going to turn it and carry on doing this, and hopefully you get some inspiration on this video to see how I use my papers, my lace and mixed media techniques on this project. And this is something I love doing when I've got some time. And do the same on the spine. And like you know, I love incorporating like flowers and papers and lace and all the yummy things together. So there's nothing too difficult about this. Like what I said, I'm just softening the edges, and I'd do the back a bit neat because I'm not going to cover it with any paper, so I'm going to make it a bit neater than the front. Going to be a bit more careful here because I don't want it to look messy at all. And it is quick drying because it's fabric, this book. If you were to use card, I would definitely leave it aside, or even use a heat gun to just speed up the process. But this book is fabric covered, so it's nice and easy to just create these strokes, and they just dry instantly. Okay. I think that's okay. So it's given me that beautiful distressed kind of an oldie kind of a look, and I really like that. So I'm going to put that back on its right way up. And then I've got a few layers of the paper that I've got here. So I've cut out this piece first, which is going to be my base, and I've already started to distress it, and I'm going to do that again. So I have got one of those Tim Hortons distress tools, but I just find the edge of scissors just to do the same job. And I don't mind if I get any cuts like this in the paper, it just adds to the effect. And I'm just going to go ahead and do all 4 sides of that sheet. Okay. So that's how that looks. And I'm going to distress it a bit more with my hand. Just, I don't want it all neat. I want it quite shabbied up. Okay, and that's going to go on here. Like so. So I'm going to put this down, and I'll be using some wet glue for this, and I'm using fabric glue only because this is fabric, so it will adhere nicely. And I use this fabric glue, and I get this from Dunelm. I'm sure you can get it from lots of other places. It's called Trimit's fabric glue, and I find this is a really good fabric glue, and it does work on paper with fabric as well. Okay. And these colours are just so pretty. I love this paper bad. It was so hard for me to cut into it. Get all them down. And I want to add a bit of stenciling on here on the base layer. So I know I want to, these are eventually going to go on here, so I want to kind of concentrate more on the top. So I'm going to put my stencil down here, like so, and I'm going to use my texture paste, which is this one here with white crackle, and I'm going to go ahead and use my spatula and get this out. And you don't need a huge amount, you just need a bit. And I just want to catch little bits here and there. I'm not going to cover it all. Put this here. I love using texture paste, and it's really nice to just get it on your finger and just rub edges off the edges, and it just gives a raised effect as well. So that's how that looks. I like that. And then I'm just going to give it a quick blast, even though there's going to be some papers going on there. So as that dries, it's going to show the crackling a bit more, but I'm going to leave that to dry by itself, and I'm going to adhere my lace. Now I've got a piece of lace here, and this is from one of my guest DT kits, and it was from Elegant Embellishments, so I'm going to use that there, which is D Store, so check her out. And I'm going to adhere this with some hot glue now. And I want it quite high up, I don't want too much going on at the bottom, like don't want a lot of overhang with the lace. I'm going to add that there. Then I'm going to add this beautiful tea dyed piece just above here, and I want to cut a bit more off the edge here, like so. And I'm going to go in at the end and just add more glue to the bottom after I've got these down. Then like that. Okay, so that's how that's looking so far. And then I'm going to go in with my other sheet here, And I'm just thinking, before I do this, I want to add my corrugated pieces. So I've just torn 2 corners off the 6x6 pad, and this is what I'm left with. So I'm going to add one here and one about there-ish, and I'm going to add these in with hot glue, just for instant adhesion. I'm going to add that there. And then I'm going to add this piece here. Excuse me. I've got a day off today, so I'm just going to enjoy crafting and giving myself some crafty time. So I'm going to add this one towards this corner here, like so. And then I don't like how bare it's looking, so I'm going to get my heavy gesso. And I'm going to use that sponge again and do the same kind of thing. So I've got, so see how shabby and stunning that looks already. Like that. So I think you can see more of the texture as well when you do something like this. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. And then I've got these 2 layers here. So I want this one just offset slightly from the center, and then this piece is going to go on the top. So I'm going to again distress this one like I did the base piece, and again do the same thing. And I think on this one I want a bit more of the ripped kind of a look, so I'll probably go in a bit deeper and give myself a couple of tears there, like so. So can you see what I've done here? And this is double-sided, so even if you tear it, it's going to look pretty. Do another little tear here, maybe, if I can get in. I'm being quite rough with this. Worst case scenario, if I got it wrong, I'll just cut out another piece from my stash and use it. It's not the end of the world. It's all about playing. Left this corner like this. So I want this kind of going on here like that, maybe a bit lower down like so. And then I'm going to have this piece going on there. So I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to add a bit of double-sided foam on here just to raise it, because there's a couple of layers here, so I want this raised. So all I'm going to do is add some double-sided foam on the top, maybe 2 layers, and I'm going to use hot glue for towards the bottom here. And because I want this project to last and last and last, I will add a bit of wet glue there just so that this doesn't dry out and fall off. I don't know why I do that all the time, just so that I know this project is not going to fall apart ever. And then I'm going to stick this onto here like this. Oh, it looks so pretty already. You can see all the layers are working. I love the fact that when I've tore this piece, I've pulled it towards me. The piece that I'm not going to use, I've pulled that towards me, and then it's left me with that craft colour tear there. And then my top sheet is going to be this beautiful, beautiful unicorn, which says imagination is everything. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. And it's just a pretty, pretty colour. So I'm going to do the same again on here. And you can see how quick it is to use scissors. I mean, this little pair of scissors is quite sharp. You could easily get the same result with like an old blunt pair of scissors. But with blunt pairs, you don't get the tears in your paper. And I don't mind these little tears that I'm getting. Like over here, I've got a little tear. I'm going to just flick that back. And another good thing to do, which is another tip I've got for you, if you want to really curl up the edges, just get a wet paintbrush, put it around the edges and just crumple it back in. And it works really well. That's going to go on there. Like that. Again, I'm going to do the same. Foam pads on the top because there's quite a few layers. So let's get some foam down. And then the last bit is going to be my yummy flowers that I'll be using. So I've got them sitting to the side, which I'm going to grab. And I'll show you which ones they are. I've got a really nice collection of flowers at the moment, and I'm so proud because, you know, when I buy flowers, I do save up to buy them, and the ones that I'm going to be using I've been hoarding. Actually, they're the 49 market ones. I'm just going to kind of centralize that, put this down. That looks so nice. And now for my flowers. Okay, so I've got my box here of 49 and market flowers, and I store them all together. So my Prima flowers are together, Wild Orchid craft ones are together, and these are my 49 market ones. And they're in this just white storage box, wooden box. So I've already put this to the front. I'll be using these. I love the blue sprays there, and I love the pink ones here. So I'm gonna get them out. And let's see, I love this large one. I also love layering these large ones. So, and I quite like these little beaded spray things. I might not use the leaves because I'm not keen on that shade of green on this page here. And then I'll also use another one. Get 3 of these out. Okay, so these are my flowers so far. And then from the blue pack, I should have given you the name, shouldn't I? So this one is Vintage Shades Blue Bouquet. That's these are handmade flowers, and I'll give you the name of the other one in a sec. Let me just grab these out first. Ooh, look at them, they're just so yummy. Okay, so I do like these. Actually, I like these as well, and it's so soft. It's like a grey, bluey green kind of a colour. I'll get a couple of those out, and maybe a blue and a few of these. In fact, I quite like these, all of them together, so I might use all of them. Okay, so I'm going to use these. Now let's get sticking. Okay, so if you wanted to obviously change a center of something, you can do. I think I'm not too keen on this center here, but I don't know what to use in the middle. If I take that out, just having a little look. In fact, I'll think about that in a sec. So I'm going to put my flowers down, and I'm going to go with this pink one first and put it in this corner here. I'm going to kind of, I love these little beads that you've got in between these sprays. Can you see them? Just so pretty. I'm going to give them a little squish because they're on wire, so I can manipulate you know, how I want them. And I don't want them all uniform in exactly the same like same height, etc. So I'm going to give them a little wiggle and create something different. So that's what I've done. Might add this here. In fact, I might just add it. I'm going to see how this looks. Oh, I actually quite like that. Okay, so I might add that there. So just a bit more of blue. And then I'm going to add, get rid of my glue strings. I might add this one And then in between the pink flowers I'll add the blue one and the bluey grey one. There. This one can go here, or on the top maybe. Just tuck it in. That looks really pretty, doesn't it? And then I'm going to add another pink one, maybe. Just, maybe not pink one then. Let's see. Got another blue one. No, that's too big. Let's add a couple of these in. Twist the wires together so that kind of attaches them together. Cut the long wire off. Stick them in here with a bit of glue. And then I'm going to have maybe this one there. Oh, no, actually I'll have this. I'm going to take this center out and I'm going to fold them in a bit so it looks like it's closed but growing. So it's like a closed flower, like that. And then I'm going to add this pretty one. I'm thinking, where shall I add this? I want to add it somewhere where I can see it. Like that maybe, or even here. Yeah, I'll have it there. And I'm going to add enough glue so it covers, it kind of sticks those wires there as well. Okay, that's how that's looking. That looks really gorgeous. I love them flowers. Really, really love them. And because they're all different shapes and they're all different sizes with different centers, I think it makes it look really pretty. And I've got one more of these and I will add this one actually. I'm not going to add it to the top. Excuse me. I might add it just here so it kind of is easy on the eyes, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to add the glue to the back of this and then lift these up a bit and add it there. And I want a bit more of something going on there, so what I'll do, I'll just take a bit of this leaf, like leafy vine mulberry paper from the paper flowers, and I'm going to add it just here. So I'm going to add a bit down first, and I'm going to add the rest up. So I'm going to just put a bit more glue on the back of there, and then I'm going to lift these up and just add a bit of glue to stick them down. And they are quite delicate, so I'm just going to be a bit careful with them. And then because it is quite, the green is quite dark, I will be putting a bit of gesso on just to lighten it up a bit, and on the flowers as well. So now I'm going to do is get a chunky brush, and this has already been used on gesso so many times, and in fact I'm going to use gesso, and I was going to use the snowflake paste, but let's see how we get on with this. So same thing again, I use this quite a lot, and I'm just going to go in, and I didn't take that bead off because I knew I was going to paint it, and then just give these a little brush, tiny little brush here, soften the blues up because it's got this dreamy kind of a look, and I want to enhance that. And then these leaves, and you can see the glue strings, I will be removing them in a sec. Oops, and I have just tore it. They are very delicate, the mulberry paper leaves. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go in with a bit more glue and glue this down. And I'm not entirely happy with that bit there actually. So what I want to do is add something else. So I'm going to grab, let's have a look. So I've got another pack of these, and I'm going to grab a couple more of these from this pack. It's a different colour, but these are like a greeny blue, and I'm going to add them because I think it's more prettier at the bottom than it is on the top. And these are the vintage shades again, and this colour is, let's have a look, Sage Bouquet. So when you go looking for these flowers, you just need to remember to put in vintage shades, I think, and then you'll find them. So I've got a little cluster going here. Gonna just tie them off together. Again, it's got them beads, which I really like. And I know this video is at 25 minutes. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to edit it. I just wanted you to see how I craft and how I create things. So I'm gonna glue this behind. So it's kind of hiding those now. Oh, that's much better. And again, I'm going to go in with my gesso. Do my little brush over. And I think that is it. Let's just add a bit of... I'm going to go in with some snowflake paste on my flowers as well. And this is just going to give me a bit of texture on the flowers, and I like using this snowflake paste. It's got a tiny hint of like iridescent glitter, and I like using these on the center of flowers because it just gives the slightest bit of sparkle, and it's got some texture on it as well. I'm going to add a bit on these just to make them a bit glistening. And I think I'm done. Yeah. So I've got loads of different shades of the bluey green and the grey on the corrugated card, the pink on the flowers. I've got some texture paste going up on there, and it looks really pretty. So I'm going to lift it up and give you a close look of how that looks. I'm just going to remove a couple of these glue strings. So that is my beautiful altered notebook. So I hope that I have inspired you. I was going to give you the name of the pink flowers I used, which I'm going to do right now. And they are called Seaside Blooms Natural Blush. It's just there. So those are the pink ones that I've used on this notebook here. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.